Okay, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now. Just pause for a second, because what I'm about to tell you, I genuinely wish someone had told me the very first day I brought my Syrian hamster home. And if they had, oh my goodness, I would have done so many things differently. I would have saved myself nights of worry, saved my little guy from so much unnecessary stress, and honestly, I would have fallen even harder in love with these tiny, ridiculous, absolutely magical little creatures, which I didn't even think was possible. I remember sitting on my bedroom floor the night I got Biscuit. That was my very first Syrian hamster, a golden male with the fluffiest cheeks you have ever seen in your life. And I was just staring at him through the cage bars thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'd done some research. I thought I was prepared. I had a cage, I had bedding, I had food. I thought I was a responsible hamster parent. And then, within the first week, I realized I had gotten almost everything wrong. Not because I didn't care, but because almost nobody talks about how extraordinary these animals actually are. How complex, how deeply feeling, how wild and ancient and surprising. And that's exactly what today is about. We are going to go through 10 facts about Syrian hamsters that are going to completely change the way you see your little furball. Some of these are going to make you smile so big your face hurts. Some are going to make your heart squeeze with that particular kind of love that only hamster people understand. And a few of them, I'll be honest with you, might make you feel a tiny bit guilty. But that's okay. We're not here to judge. We're here to learn, and we're here to do better. That's the whole point of HammyRealm. That's why we're all here together. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's talk about 10 facts about Syrian hamsters that are going to absolutely blow your mind. Let's start with fact number 1, and honestly, this one hits me right in the heart every single time I think about it. Your Syrian hamster is by nature a completely solitary animal. And I don't mean solitary the way some people are introverts who just need a little alone time before they're fine at a party. I mean genuinely, biologically, evolutionarily built to live alone. In the wild, in Syria, in Turkey, in parts of Romania, Syrian hamsters live in individual burrows. They have their own territory. They actively defend it. Two Syrian hamsters who meet in the wild are not friends having a cute little play date. They are rivals. They will fight, sometimes seriously. And here's where my heart breaks a little, because I know so many well-meaning people, and I was almost one of them, who buy two Syrian hamsters at the same time because they think the little guys will be lonely. They think, oh, they'll keep each other company, they'll be best friends. They'll snuggle together and it'll be adorable. I've seen the photos on Pinterest. I thought the same thing. But what actually happens is stress. Chronic, exhausting, genuinely harmful stress for both animals. Even if they're not visibly fighting, even if one isn't getting hurt, the mere presence of another Syrian hamster in their space triggers a stress response that can affect their immune system, their behavior, their lifespan. Your hamster lying quietly in their cage while another hamster sleeps 3 inches away is not a hamster who's okay. That's a hamster who's frightened and overwhelmed and doesn't know what to do about it. One Syrian hamster, one cage, all the love, all to themselves. That's what they need. And honestly, once you understand it, it makes so much sense, because your Hammy doesn't need another hamster. They have you. Okay, fact number 2. And this one, oh, this one is just pure wonder. This is the kind of fact that makes me feel like we're living alongside tiny little superheroes and we just never noticed. Your Syrian hamster can carry up to 50% of their own body weight in their cheek pouches. Let me say that again. 50% of their body weight in their cheeks. Imagine if you could stuff half your body weight inside your cheeks and just walk around like it's completely normal. That would be wild. That would be the most impressive thing any human being has ever done. And your hamster does it casually on a Tuesday night because they found a really good pile of seeds and they are not leaving any of it behind. I watched Biscuit do this once with a pile of broccoli pieces, and I genuinely could not stop laughing. His cheeks were so full he looked like a completely different animal. Like someone had photoshopped a hamster head onto a slightly larger hamster body. He waddled back to his burrow looking so satisfied with himself, so proud. And he absolutely should have been proud. That is an elite skill. But here's the part that really gets me. The cheek pouches aren't just for food. In the wild, Syrian hamsters will also carry bedding material in their pouches. They use them to transport nesting materials back to their burrow. They are tiny, efficient, perfectly designed little architects of their own cozy underground homes. Everything about their anatomy is built for this single purpose: gather, store, survive, thrive. And the crazy part is that the cheek pouches are completely separate from their digestive system. There are no digestive enzymes in there. Nothing gets broken down. It's literally just a transport system, a backpack built into their face. Evolution said, this little guy needs to carry a lot of stuff very efficiently, and the cheek pouch was the answer. And honestly, absolute perfection. Fact number 3. And I want you to really sit with this one, because it reframes something that a lot of new hamster owners find really frustrating. And once you understand the why behind it, you'll never be frustrated again. You'll just feel pure, deep admiration. Syrian hamsters are crepuscular animals, which means they're most active at dawn and dusk. And honestly, in captivity, a lot of Syrian hamsters shift closer to being nocturnal, most active at night. And I know what you're thinking, because I thought it too. You're thinking, but I want to hang out with my hamster. I want to watch them play. Why are they always asleep when I'm awake? Here's the thing. In the wild, the Syrian hamster's predators, owls, snakes, foxes, larger birds, are either active during the day or in the deep of night. The sweet spot, the moment of relative safety, is that transition time, that in-between light, dawn and dusk. That's when it makes sense to come out. That's when the risk is lowest. Your hamster isn't being antisocial. They're not ignoring you. They are running an ancient program coded into their DNA over thousands and thousands of years of survival. Their body clock is tuned to that rhythm so precisely that even in a warm, safe bedroom with no predators anywhere nearby, they still feel the pull of it, still feel most alive and most ready in those low-light hours. And this is why, and I cannot stress this enough, waking your hamster up in the middle of the day to play with them is actually really hard on their little bodies. It's not just inconvenient for them, it disrupts their stress hormones. It can make them more anxious, more likely to nip, less healthy overall. If your hamster bites you when you wake them up suddenly, they're not mean, they're scared. They were deep in sleep following a biological program, and suddenly, boom, giant hand. Of course they reacted. Let them come to you. Let them wake up on their own schedule, set up their playtime for the evening, and watch how different they are. How bright, how curious, how absolutely full of energy. That's your hamster's true self, and it's worth waiting for. All right, fact number 4, and this one is going to make you look at your hamster's cage floor in a completely different way. In the wild, Syrian hamsters dig burrows that can be up to 1 meter deep. That is 100 centimeters. That is deeper than most people's kitchen countertops are tall. These are complex, multi-chamber systems with a sleeping area, a food storage area, sometimes even a toilet area. They are engineers, they are architects. They have a plan, and they execute it with incredible precision, using nothing but their front paws and their nose. And now think about the average beginner hamster cage, the little starter kit that so many of us, me included, hand-raised, fully guilty, bought when we first got our Hammy. 5 inches of bedding, maybe 6, and we thought that was plenty. We thought they were just going to scratch around a bit, maybe make a little nest, fine. But what was actually happening was that your hamster was hitting the bottom of the cage over and over again while trying to fulfill one of their deepest biological needs. Imagine if you needed to run every single day for your mental health, because you do, we all do, and someone gave you a hallway 3 feet long and said, "Here, this is where you live, run in here." You'd go a little bit crazy, right? You'd be frustrated and anxious, and something inside you would just feel wrong all the time, even if you couldn't explain it. That's what insufficient burrowing depth does to a Syrian hamster. It doesn't just disappoint them. It causes a stress response that's connected to something called stereotypic behavior, repetitive, pointless movements like bar chewing or running the same pattern over and over, that is a hamster's way of coping with an environment that isn't meeting their needs. The recommendation now from hamster welfare organizations is a minimum of 6 inches of bedding, and honestly, more is always better. 8 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches, the more you give them, the more they will use it and the happier they will be. I switched Biscuit to a deeper substrate and watched him just go absolutely wild with joy. He was digging for hours. He had this look on his little face, and I know some people think I'm projecting, but I'm not, of pure, focused, blissful purpose, like he was finally doing what he was born to do. Give them depth. Let them dig. It will change everything. Fact number 5. And this one honestly makes me emotional every single time, because it says something really beautiful about these animals that I don't think most people ever stop to appreciate. Syrian hamsters have an incredible spatial memory. I mean, genuinely extraordinary. In the wild, a single Syrian hamster might travel up to 5 miles in a single night foraging for food. 5 miles on tiny little legs, through desert terrain. And they remember where they've been. They remember landmarks. They create and store detailed internal maps of their territory so they can find their way back to their burrow in the dark. Think about what that means. This animal, the size of your fist, weighing maybe 4 or 5 ounces, is running the mental equivalent of a complex navigation app in real time, in the dark, using scent and memory and spatial reasoning that researchers have found to be genuinely sophisticated. And this is why the wheel matters so much more than most people realize. It's not just exercise. It's not just fun. A running wheel is the closest thing we can give a captive Syrian hamster to that deep, ancient need to run and explore and cover ground. When your hamster hops on their wheel at 10 o'clock at night and starts running with this look of total focus and happiness, they are answering a call that goes back thousands of years. They are running those 5 miles in the only way available to them. This is why wheel size matters so much. An 11-inch wheel minimum for a Syrian hamster. A lot of people buy small wheels because, well, the hamster is small, but a small wheel forces them to arch their back unnaturally while running, which over time causes spinal problems. 11 inches, solid surface, no bars, no little feet getting caught. And if you want to really give them a gift, a 12 or 13-inch wheel, and watch them just fly. Oh, and before we get to fact number 6, can I ask you something? Have you ever watched your hamster suddenly freeze completely still and just stare at nothing, like they heard or sensed something you absolutely cannot detect? Leave a comment below and tell me about it, because I want to hear your stories. That behavior is actually connected to our next few facts, and it is fascinating. Fact number 6. And this one is going to make you see your hamster's nose in a completely new light. Syrian hamsters have a sense of smell that is, in relative terms, many times more powerful than ours. They have scent glands on their hips. You can actually see them as slightly darker patches on either side of their body, and they use these glands to mark their territory. Every time your hamster rubs their side against something in their cage, they're leaving a scent message, a little flag that says, "This is mine. I was here. This is my home." But the really incredible part is how much information they can gather through scent alone. Syrian hamsters can detect the emotional state of other hamsters through scent cues. They can smell predators that were present hours before in an area. They use scent trails to navigate back to their burrow. Female Syrian hamsters become noticeably more active and begin releasing specific scent signals during their estrus cycle, which happens every 4 days, and this change in scent is so significant that even across a distance, a male Syrian hamster will detect it and respond. What this means for you as an owner is really important. When you handle your hamster, you are a walking explosion of scent information to them. Your soap, your food, your stress hormones, yes, they can smell those too. Your other pets, everything. This is why consistent, calm handling matters so much. Over time, your hamster learns that your specific scent means safety, means food, means good things, and that's when you see them actively approach your hand instead of flinching away from it. That's when you know you've built real trust. And never ever handle your hamster right after chopping onions or handling strongly scented things without washing your hands, not because they'll be dramatically offended, but because that's such a strong scent disruption that it can cause anxiety and sometimes defensive nipping. They're not being bad. Their nose is just doing its job a little too well. Fact number 7. And this one is genuinely shocking to most people the first time they hear it. Syrian hamsters can go into a state called torpor. It's not quite hibernation, not true hibernation the way bears do it, but it's something that can look terrifyingly similar. If the temperature in your hamster's environment drops too low, or if there's a combination of cold temperatures and reduced light, your Syrian hamster's body might respond by essentially shutting down. Their heart rate drops dramatically, their breathing slows to almost nothing, their body temperature falls, and they become cold, still, and completely unresponsive. And here's where it gets scary. People mistake this for death. Every year there are stories of hamsters who were nearly buried, nearly given a sad backyard farewell, only to wake up when brought into a warmer room. I am not making this up. There are forum posts. There are tearful stories from people who very nearly made an irreversible mistake. If you ever find your hamster cold and unresponsive, please, before you do anything else, warm them up slowly, hold them in your hands, bring them to a warm room, check for breathing very carefully. Torpor hamsters can look incredibly still, but if you look very closely, you may see the tiniest, most shallow movement of their sides, or you may feel the faintest warmth starting to return as you hold them. The key prevention is temperature control. Syrian hamsters should be kept between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, around 18 to 24 degrees Celsius, below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and the torpor risk rises significantly. They don't need extreme warmth, just steady, consistent, moderate temperature. A stable room is so much better than a room that swings from warm during the day to cold at night. Your hamster's thermostat is ancient and automatic. It's your job to make sure they never need to use it. Okay, we're at fact number 8, and I need you to really lean in for this one, because this fact changed the way I think about my relationship with my hamster more than almost anything else. Syrian hamsters have a lifespan of roughly 2 to 3 years. Some make it a little longer with exceptional care. Occasionally you'll hear of a hamster hitting 4 years, and those owners are doing something very right. But generally, 2 to 3 years is what you have. I know. I felt that too the first time someone told me clearly and plainly. 2 to 3 years, this tiny animal who will look at you with those round dark eyes and let you hold them while they munch on a sunflower seed and groom behind their ears. You get 2 or 3 years with them, and then, gently and usually fairly quickly, they start to slow down. They sleep more, they eat less, they move a little more carefully. And then one day, often very peacefully, they're gone. But here's the thing, here's what I really want you to hear. That short timeline doesn't make them less worth it. It makes every single day more precious. Every wheel run, every cheek pouch, every tiny sneeze, every time they climb onto your hand and just sit there looking around at the world from the safety of your palm, it all counts, it all matters. Hamsters live these incredibly fast, incredibly full little lives, and they deserve every bit of comfort and enrichment and love we can give them during that time. This is why the cage matters so much. This is why the wheel matters. This is why the bedding depth and the temperature and the diet and the handling all matter, because 2 or 3 years isn't very long, and you want those years to be genuinely good ones. You want to look back and know that your Hammy had a rich life, a stimulating life, a safe and happy life. Don't wait to upgrade the cage. Don't wait to add more enrichment. Don't wait to learn more and do better. The time you have with them is short, and it is sweet, and it is worth everything. Fact number 9. This one is pure delight. Absolute pure joy. And if you've ever watched your hamster do this and not known what it meant, you're going to have a moment right now. Syrian hamsters dream. Yes, they actually dream. During REM sleep, and hamsters do cycle through REM sleep, just like we do, their little bodies make tiny movements. Their whiskers twitch, their paws paddle slightly, their nose wiggles. Sometimes their cheeks puff slightly as if they're stuffing them in a dream. And researchers who have studied this believe that what's happening is memory consolidation, the brain replaying and processing experiences from the waking hours, which means that when your hamster has a really good run on their wheel, a really satisfying digging session, a really happy foraging experience, there is a reasonable scientific basis for believing that they replay that experience while they sleep, that the joy in some form gets revisited. Doesn't that just make your heart feel like it might burst? I remember the first time I noticed Biscuit doing this. His little paws were moving so fast, his nose was going absolutely crazy, and I just sat there on the floor watching him with this enormous smile on my face thinking, buddy, wherever you are right now, I hope it's the best place. I hope you're running through some endless dreamy landscape with seeds everywhere and perfect soft bedding and not a predator in sight. This is also one of the reasons why sleep quality matters for your hamster. An environment that's too loud, too bright, too disrupted during their sleep hours affects their REM sleep, just like it would yours. A calm, dark, quiet space during the day isn't just comfortable. It's how you give your hamster genuinely restorative sleep. Sleep where they can dream. Think about that next time you walk past their cage while they're sleeping. In there, behind those closed little eyes, something is happening. Something small and warm and ancient and real. And now, fact number 10, the one I've been saving, the one that, when I learnt it, made me sit back and just think for a long moment about what kind of owner I wanted to be, what kind of environment I wanted to provide, and why. Syrian hamsters show measurable indicators of positive emotional states, not just the absence of fear or stress. Actual, measurable, positive emotional states. Research published in scientific journals, real peer-reviewed stuff, not just cute hamster lovers speculating, has shown that hamsters in enriched, spacious, well-designed environments demonstrate what researchers call optimistic cognitive bias. They make choices in ambiguous situations that lean toward expecting good outcomes. They show more exploratory behavior. They engage more. They seem to look at the world differently. Hamsters in small, barren, unstimulating environments show the opposite: pessimistic cognitive bias, reluctance to explore, higher baseline stress markers, a kind of dulled, withdrawn way of moving through the world. What this means, what this really truly means, is that your hamster has something like happiness. They have something like a mood that can be better or worse, brighter or darker, based on how their life is set up. They are not little machines who just exist neutrally and eat and sleep. They are animals with something going on inside them that responds to their environment in ways we can actually measure. A bigger cage isn't just nice for them. It's the difference between a hamster who experiences something like joy and a hamster who doesn't. More enrichment isn't spoiling them, it's giving them a richer inner life. Foraging opportunities, different textures, hiding spots, climbing options, fresh foods to discover. These things don't just entertain your hamster, they build a better hamster, a hamster with something to look forward to, a hamster whose whole little being is more alive. And I think about that all the time. I think about Biscuit and every hamster I've had since. And I think every choice I make about their cage, their food, their enrichment, their routine, I am shaping their emotional world. I am part of what makes their life feel good or feel not good. That is a huge responsibility, and it is the most beautiful one. So there they are, 10 facts about Syrian hamsters that I genuinely believe every owner, new, experienced, dreaming about getting their first Hammy, needs to carry with them, because knowledge is love. When it comes to these little guys, the more you understand about what they are and what they need and what they feel, the better you can love them, and they deserve to be loved well. Let me do a quick run through one more time, because I want these to stick with you. 1. Your Syrian hamster needs to live alone, and that's not sad. It's exactly right for who they are. 2. Those cheek pouches are engineering masterpieces, and 50% body weight capacity is just objectively incredible. 3. Their crepuscular nature is ancient and sacred and worth working around. 4. They need to dig deep, and we owe them the depth to do it. 5. Their spatial memory and need to run goes back thousands of years, and the wheel honors that. 6. Their nose is reading a world of information we can barely imagine, and our scent tells them everything about whether to trust us. 7. Torpor is real, temperature matters, and a cold, unresponsive hamster might not be gone. 8. Their lifespan is short, and that makes every day a gift worth giving everything to. 9. They dream, and that dream life is worth protecting with good sleep. And 10. They have something like happiness, and we have the power and the privilege of building that happiness for them every single day. This is why we're here. This is HammyRealm. This is a place for people who look at a tiny golden hamster with stuffed cheeks and a twitching nose and feel their whole heart fill up. You're not weird for loving your hamster this much. You're not dramatic for caring about their bedding depth and their wheel size and whether their sleeping spot is warm enough. You are a good owner. You are exactly the kind of human a Syrian hamster deserves. And if you made some mistakes before today, if you had a too small cage, or you used to wake your hamster up during the day, or you kept the temperature a little low, it's okay. It's genuinely okay. We all start somewhere. What matters is right now, this moment, choosing to know more and do better. Your hamster doesn't hold grudges. They will take every bit of improvement you offer them with open little paws and stuff it into their cheeks for safekeeping. If this video hit you somewhere deep, if it made you want to run to your hamster's cage and just watch them for a while, I need you to hit that like button, because it genuinely helps more people find this content and learn what their little guys actually need. Subscribe to HammyRealm if you haven't already, and turn on notifications, because what we have coming next, oh, it's good. Next time, we are going deep on the perfect Syrian hamster cage setup, from the actual minimum size you need, to the substrate brands that give the best tunneling, to the enrichment items that turned my hamster from a stressed little guy into the most confident, playful, happiest version of himself. It's the video I wish had existed when I started, and I cannot wait to share it with you. Until then, go give your Hammy some extra substrate. Maybe scatter a few seeds for them to find tonight. Turn the lights down low when it's their time to wake up and just watch. Watch who they are when they feel safe and seen and completely at home. Because that right there, that's everything. Welcome to HammyRealm. I'm so glad you're here.